Hello everybody, welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews. Jason here bringing you today's video. As always guys, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. We've got a ton of content that we come out with. We're trying to review as many books as possible. Also, don't forget to check the links down below for links to today's book, any other applicable links such as our Discord channel, and anything else we can think of. Please check it out through the links. One of our fans asked us to set ourselves up with the Amazon affiliates so we could use the traffic through those links. Otherwise, once again, thank you everybody for joining us, and I'm going to go ahead and get right into today's video. So today's video is slightly different. This is not a fiction book for one, although it does kind of go in line with some of the books that we review. So about maybe a quarter, a fifth, a quarter of the books that we review on this channel fall under the harem lit subgenre. And I came across this book. I had this suggested to me by somebody a little while back. And this is a nonfiction book. But it does kind of fall sort of in line. I think a lot of people that not everybody of course, but a lot of people that read harem lit probably have interest in alternate lifestyles. And this book would be an excellent book for them to read. The book is called The Ethical Slut by Janet Hardy and Desi Easton. I can't read my own damn handwriting, but this book has been around for a while. The version I read, I think it's like the third edition or something. This book's been around for like 20 years. And it's an interesting book because it is a book that is based actually around almost, not quite, but almost around like the harem lit or harem type of situation. Not necessarily harem, but it's a book that is based around alternate lifestyles. And one of the things with modern society is that polyamory has been really rising a lot over the years, and it's touched on a lot within this book. But this book doesn't just touch on, say, polyamorous things, but also touches on bisexuality, touches on even just open marriages or open relationships, boyfriend and girlfriend, that aren't necessarily polyamorous, and also touches on, say, the swinger lifestyle and fetish and kink lifestyle, stuff like that. And it's a fascinating book because it covers so many different things. I'm not going to go over every single bit of this book, but what's cool about it is they go back to a lot of history as well. They'll go back to history and early scientific studies on sex and sexuality and love. They talk a lot about love within this book too. So they'll go back. They go back and they talk a lot about early scientific studies, sex, sexuality, some of the pioneers and the studies of that, and how their lives were affected by their own research and things. Then the authors will also talk about, say, societal norms and societal constructs and how religion played a big part in our society's views on relationships and on sex and on love, and how that's changed, and how, hundreds of years ago things were different. In fact, polyamorous lifestyles were actually much larger than they are now, to closer to modern times, and how religion really started to shape things, to how even our technology levels and our comfort of life has actually changed things away from larger family units that were there as support mechanisms and for survival mode. Nowadays, two people can survive completely, even if only one of them worked. But two people that were working, they can survive. That duo unit that is more the societal norm. And they also talk about how there's even functions within our language that really constrict how our minds work in relation to how we perceive relationships and love and sex and things along those lines. Even such innocuous phrases as love hurts and stuff like that. Then they will also talk about love itself. They'll talk about love itself. They'll talk about jealousy, how that can play a part in relationships and dynamics between people. So they cover so many different things throughout this entire book. So many. I'm not even touching on a tenth of what they cover. But it's a fascinating read because not only do they have this historical stuff that they throw in there and this scientific things that they throw in there, but they and the language, and how that affects things, then religion, how that affects things, society and how that affects things, even economics and how that affects things, because the economics has really affected a lot of how people view, our society views relationships and love and sex and things along those lines and sexual relations. But they also include real world stories. They include real world stories about people in real situations of all types, from swingers to kinks to fetishes to polyamorous to open relationships to everything out there. They'll include real stories, and these real stories, they don't gloss over the negative either. They will talk about how difficult some parts of the lifestyles are, and again, it's a fascinating read. So for those of you guys that like to read the Haremlit and stuff like that, if you're interested in just learning more about how that could actually work in real world, because a lot of the Haremlit, I mean, let's be honest here, a lot of the Haremlit is so unrealistic that it's amusing. I mean, it's almost Leave It to Beaver level of perfection between all the various couples, thruples, and so on and so forth. There very rarely are arguments, fights, jealousy, things like that. And if they are, it's like a quarter of a page before one says just the perfect thing to make the other person go, oh, you're absolutely right. And, it's just absolute perfect. And this book does not gloss over the imperfections and the pains and difficulties that can occur within these kind of lifestyles. But it's a fascinating read. It really, really is. If you guys like reading the Haremlit stuff, again, this would be a cool little book. It is. It's, well, little... I'm not sure it's a long book, but it's fun. It's fun. It's cool. The stories, the history, it's kind of mind blowing when you read some of the stuff, like the part about the language, and they're going over various phrases, and if you really think about what those phrases mean, why do we say things like that in relation to love, in relation to relationships, and things along those lines. So fascinating read, guys. If you guys are interested. Definitely something to check out. Check the links down below. After you hit the like and subscribe buttons, check the links down below. Like I said, guys, it's a ton of fun. Catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye now.